They done arrested Faison. Look like in Miami, man, arrested for contempt of court, which I don't think contempt of court is no big deal. Contempt of court meaning somebody didn't like what he said. And let me read it, because TMZ reported this.
He in there for child support.
What?
He in there for a paternity case.
Faison Love is sitting in a Tampa jail right now. Mugshot taken, stone-faced, eyes locked on that camera like a man who's been through this system before and knows exactly what it does to you. And the second I saw that photo, I knew this wasn't just some random arrest story. This was something deeper. Something the entertainment world doesn't want regular people talking about. You already know what I'm about to say, because you've seen this before. A black man in entertainment doing his thing, building his legacy, and then boom. The system reaches out and grabs him by the collar. Not for something violent, not for something that hurt anybody. Contempt of court, connected to a paternity case. Let that sink in for a second. Here's the thing though. Contempt of court sounds scary when you say it out loud. Sounds heavy. But what it really means, at its core, is that somebody in that courtroom decided they didn't like something he said or did. That's it. That's the charge that put Faison Love in a Tampa jail. And while the mainstream outlets run that mugshot wall to wall, nobody's asking the real question. Nobody's asking why the family court system in this country has become one of the most powerful and least questioned weapons against men, specifically against men who've made something of themselves. And look, I need you to stay with me here, because this goes further than Faison, way further. See, there's a machine running in this country, quietly, buried under legal language and court filing numbers and child support enforcement offices that most people never even walk into unless they're forced to. And that machine has one function: to extract, to pull money from fathers, funnel it through a system where bureaucrats and attorneys and enforcement agencies all take their cut, and whatever's left trickles down to a child who probably would have been fine if the two parents had just been left alone to figure it out. We all knew this. You already knew this. But nobody in Hollywood ever wants to say it out loud. Faison Love said it with that mugshot. He didn't have to say a word. That death stare said everything. Now I want to be honest with you for a second. And I'm going to slow down right here because I think this part matters. I've watched this system chew up people I respect. Good people. People who showed up, who tried, who paid what they were supposed to pay, and then got dragged back to court anyway because the other party was angry or bitter, or was using that child as leverage in a war that had nothing to do with the child anymore. That's not justice. That's not what any of this was supposed to be. And when I see a man like Faison Love, a veteran actor, someone with a career, someone with a reputation, sitting in a jail in Hillsborough County, Florida over a paternity case, something in me says this ain't right. It just ain't right. And the reason for that? Well, you'll see. Back in 2017, Faison was arrested again. This is not new for him after a confrontation with a valet at an airport in Columbus, Ohio. Now, the story that got buried was that the valet spit on him first, spit on him. And surveillance video showed the whole thing. Faison got a suspended sentence, but the media ran with the image of him as aggressive, as dangerous. They planted that seed. And now here we are again with another arrest, and that same seed is being watered by the same outlets that never gave him the full story the first time. You see how that works. You see the pattern. Because here's where it gets interesting. The people who control these narratives, they pick who gets sympathy and who gets the mugshot treatment. They decide which celebrity dad gets framed as a victim of a broken system and which one gets painted as a deadbeat. And that decision, that editorial choice, it's never random. Not ever. The files on who gets protected and who gets exposed, those files exist. And Faison Love's name is apparently not on the protected list. Now let's talk about what this family court system actually does to people, because I think most of you watching this already know someone this has happened to. Maybe it happened to you. A man has his child living with him, full-time, years going by, and he's still paying child support to a mother who isn't even raising the child. He pays back charges that never stop coming. He fights in court just to be recognized as the custodial parent when he already is the custodial parent in every real practical sense of the word. And the system just keeps grinding, keeps taking, not because it's doing right by the child, but because that's what the system is built to do. Actually, wait, let me rephrase that. It's not just built to grind, it's built to profit off the grinding, off the back and forth, off the court dates and the attorneys and the enforcement and the interest. People are living very comfortable lives off the interest of money that was supposed to go to children. And everybody at the top of that arrangement has every reason to make sure it never gets simpler, never gets fairer, never just lets two parents work it out like adults. And the entertainers, the celebrities, the high-profile names, they're the most visible victims of it because there's more money to chase, more headlines to generate, more reason for the system to flex its muscle publicly. You want to know why Faison's mugshot is everywhere right now? Because it serves someone, not him, not his child, someone else entirely. This is the part nobody talks about. The child gets lost in all of it. Somewhere between the court filings and the enforcement orders and the contempt charges, the actual living, breathing child became a number on a payment schedule, a bargaining chip. a reason to keep coming back to court. And the people who are supposed to be protecting that child are instead protecting the revenue stream that child represents to the system. That's not justice. That's something much darker dressed up in legal language. Faison Love is sitting somewhere in Tampa right now, and that mugshot is staring back at us, and we're all supposed to just accept the headline and move on. Just another celebrity arrest. Nothing to see here. But I'm telling you, there's everything to see here. This is what the machine looks like when it catches someone in its teeth. This is what happens when you're high profile enough to be an example, but not connected enough to be protected. And here's what I want to know. Here's what I want every single one of you to think about and drop in the comments right now. If this system is supposedly built to protect children, then why does it keep producing stories like this one? Why do the fathers who show up, who stay, who fight, end up in handcuffs? And why does nobody with a platform ever want to expose the real files on what this system is actually built to do?